Here we go. Here we go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's Friday Night Live with myself. And let me get the names. Mitch Bryan, aka the Big Boss, and Lisa Turry, aka the Sarge. Good evening, guys.
Evening.
Evening.
Um, um, I, obviously, if you've been watching us for the past more than 2 years, we've been doing a PTSD course, and we've done it several times. Actually, I've done it 3 times. Lisa's done it 4 or more times, and we've been learning. And what it was, Mitch was a guest on our show back in the day, and he said he had this course to do, and all we had to pay for is a book and then spend some time online each week to do the course. And as normal with things, when we want to progress forward, Big John voted, well, if we're going to talk about the course, and was a regular guest on the show, if we're going to talk about the course and I want to get involved in the course, I want to do it myself. And it's the best way, obviously, to understand, learn what you're talking about and that. And I went into the course with a person who thinks he hasn't got any trauma. I don't suffer from PTSD, not like other people do and stuff like that. But then going to find out that I have had some trauma in my life. And we know that generally everybody has had trauma in their life. And Mitchell will and Lisa will understand this. And a lot of the trauma involves in the past when you were a child or when you're growing up and stuff like that. That's where the initial trauma hits. But, so we started the course, and it's a 13-week course with a graduation. You get a certificate. I'm sorry, I have got a certificate, and I have got 3 of the books that we use to do the course, but I haven't got them on me, so I can't show them. But and I've done 3 of these courses, and I've struggled on the later courses, but I have done 3 of these courses. So we're starting these courses up again. We're going to be rebrand, new name, everything. There'll be a way to, we'll be making money through charity. We'll be registered and all that lot. But I just want to get people involved in doing the course. And I want you to hear my story, Lisa's story, Mitch's story, of how the course has maybe helped us, developed us to where we can better understand other people. And I mean, even though I'm not a veteran, never ever said I am, but I do have a busy life talking to members of the public, and I want to run in local elections. So I'm talking to thousands of people, and some of them thousands of people suffer from PTSD and trauma. So it's good that I can understand courses, I can take part, which then I can pass on to other people within my ward or where I'm standing or the community that I'm trying to support. So I do think it's a very good thing. So we want to get people tonight interested in the course. What can it do for you? How much work you have to put in, the benefits, all sorts of things. And we will be starting a regular stream a couple of times a month going forward, talking about this course and some of the things it's supported people with. And primarily it started off as a veterans course, but obviously not just veterans suffer from PTSD. We have civilians, and we had an amazing person who did 2 of the courses, and he's called Nick Wilson. And Nick's story is a tragic story. It's been ignored, but he suffers from physical, mental trauma. As of fact, he got attacked. And Nick did 2 of these courses, and he's just progressed on to be a better person. You can find him on Facebook. He openly talks about the issues he has and stuff like that. Yeah, and maybe he talks more about them issues because doing the courses has got us together And I've supported Nick twice by going to his doctors with him and to his local member of parliament about his injuries, his health, I'm what we can do to help these people. So, and the course sort of like got me and Nick together. So then I could help and support Nick in a better way. So this course is fantastic, guys. Anyway, listen, I've gone on too long, but let's get over to Mitch. Mitch.
Good evening, everyone. So, as John had said earlier, we're in year 3, I think, now of teaching the courses. Is that right, Lisa? Is it year 3?
Come January, it'll be, yes.
Yeah, so almost 3 years that we've been able to launch courses in the United Kingdom. Obviously, when you grow, changes occur. So, changes are happening for the good, and more information will be released as branding comes along, and the UK recognizes us as a charitable organization. We'll share more information on that, but the end result is always going to be the same, and that's to help people with PTSD and trauma. Now, some of you might be listening this evening and wondering, why are we offering this class almost for free, except for whatever payments have to be made for a book? At the end of the day, we realize that there is a need for help, and we're not here to make money. We're here to help people at the end of the day. So money's not an option for us to worry about it. Yes, we have expenses that we hope that people will cover by donating to the cause. But at the end of the day, we just want to help people. And I don't know how many people we've helped in the last 3 years. It's not about how many people we help. It's about helping those people that need the help. We don't keep track of that because it's not my it's not important to me how many people we help, as long as we help people. So what does that look like? So we have a 12-week program with week 13 as graduation. So every week I ask you for 3 hours of your time a week. Well, that's a lot of time. At the end of the day, your health is not going to think that 3 hours is a lot of time. 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes for course time, depending how many people we have in the course, how much we have to cover. And then 45 minutes for your midweek check-in and your homework. And we might be adjusting the midweek check-in thing, but right now, so I just want to say 3 hours max a week. Each week we have a different topic. So I'm asking people who want to sign up that you need to commit to 12 weeks with week 13 of graduation. I can't have you come in 1 week, skip 1 week. Come in 1 week, skip 1 week. Because after week 3, it starts building up for the previous weeks. So that's like you going to be a doctor and you miss anatomy and physiology, and then you go become a doctor and you fail because you don't know your anatomy and physiology. It's the same thing. It all works consecutively off of each week. So if you want to commit to 12 weeks, we want you aboard. We don't care if you're a veteran, if you're a first responder, if you're not any of those, you're just a person with trauma and PTSD. We're just here to help you. So what does that look like? I'm happy you asked. I'd like Lil to come in and share her little experience, and because apparently she doesn't get enough of this Yankee across the pond that she's taken the course several times. So let her share some of her insight, what it's done for her, what it's done for her family, what it's done, period.
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, John. So basically, guys, I was in a bit of a dark place and a couple of years ago. I was experiencing domestic violence. I am a veteran of the British Army myself, and through that time, I never recognised my military PTSD. But I was so deep in domestic violence and how I was trying to cope with day-to-day life. Unfortunately, I got put into a situation where I was unsafe. So I was reaching out to people, and I came across one of my dear friends called Mark. He helped me and assisted me to get a flee the domestic violence for a few days while the police was able to sort it out. And I stumbled across this course which Mitch was running because I felt I was forgotten. I thought I had to deal with my problems. I had to deal with my mental health, my constant like fear, my constant not knowing why I don't fit in society. And then I joined the first combat course, and it helped me in so many ways. It helped me identify that my trauma started as a child, throughout my early adulthood, and it will continue throughout life. But it's also understanding that I wasn't alone as well. So as I progressed through the course of my first combat course of stress and PTSD, I found that I was pushing my triggers and all of my PTSD through the army into my mind space of forgetting, but I was triggered. And Mitch and that course absolutely gave me the tools to help me with my combat PTSD, and then slightly in going into my domestic violence as well, and how myself could understand what I'm going through. So once I finished that course, I then did a second course, and then I was able to help people on that course. Um, because females in the UK don't have that much facilities when it comes to PTSD, when it comes to military and that type of sector. It's mainly concentrated on civilians. So then I went through out there and I was helping people, and I started enjoying it. And then I started recognizing that I've not just learned everything, I was learning things every single time I took this course. Everything was new. Then my children started hearing what I was doing, and they was going, Mum, I want to do some of that, what you've done in there. So I've implemented my day-to-day life of my children with this course, and we're doing amazing. Mitch and John have been so supportive on there. Then Mitch came to me and goes, we're doing a civilian course, the trauma course. So I attended that. And then I found new things about myself. And also my children was also be able to come along and listen in. And we found that we was able to identify what we was going through, how the tools that Mitch was giving us, how we could interact with our daily life. Until this now, we still use those tools that Mitch gave us. I have a big mirror in my dining room now where we have a board marker, do you know the blackboard markers? And every morning we write our little words to each other to say that I'm proud of you, Mum, I'm good, and that we love each other. And it still continues to this day. And now I feel, because I've got this from this course, I want to help other women out there in the similar situation that have been in the army or been in domestic violence or that have been through a number of traumas. I am also, throughout my domestic violence, I am a survivor of rape as well. So I can offer my support and understanding that more women out there are not alone. So I would like to help the women out there. When we do our next course, there is a female representative and a female covered out there, so you're not alone, because I do understand it can be extremely hard talking to a male. But yeah, I'm moved. We're happy. My kids are happy, and I can offer my help and understanding as well when it comes to the course. And it's my passion now. I think it's my pure passion just to go out there and help people understand. And I've got a best friend out of it from across the pond, and I've also got another best friend next to me, which I can just ring up any day or night if I need to, just to rant. not even ranty, if I just need to help someone to process some of my tools that I've learned through the course.
Ravinda, so email Lisa then, Ravinda. Emails on bottom. And yes, you would be good for the course, I think, and you do need that you do need that support. So email Lisa, please, Rav, and I'll speak to you soon, darling. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bexy. Nick Wilson's in the chat. Thank you, Nick. Nick's moved now. He's been quite open about it. If you have Facebook or X or anything, Nick's on there. And you know, in the course, it's a private thing. This course, what's said in the course is said in the course, right? But obviously, if you know me, I'm a very open person. I do talk about things that have happened to me and stuff like that, and I'm quite open to. Nick is quite open to, but other than that, nothing ever gets said about anyone. You know, it's that kind of bonding that you have in the course ends up with you becoming good friends. And you know, I've had over the years, I've had contact with Nick and Lisa all the time, and so you know that's how the bond becomes. And we want to support people and help people. Like Lisa's female. If you're not comfortable talking to a man, and I get it, guys. Some women aren't, and if you know anything about me, I've done a lot on child sexual exploitation, so I understand. You can talk to Lisa. You can talk to me. You can talk to Mitch if you're a bloke. Honestly, we get it with these blokes. You know, we all get this, and Mitch is going to agree that, you know, we're blokes. We hold that stuff in. We don't want to show that our feelings and stuff like that to people. That's what men are like. So, but you can talk to us, guys. You can talk to us as a bloke, though. You can talk to. We have bases across the UK. We can always get you out. We can get you somewhere where you might be able to get better support or relaxed or anything like that or anything. So we can do all these kind of things. And we do these things already. Lisa's been doing this sort of stuff now, supporting veterans, domestic abuse people for years. So she knows, you know what I mean? And we do this, and that's what we want to do. We want to help people. And like I said, I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the people who are supporting my community. And some of them have PTSD and trauma and stuff like that. And I support these people on a regular basis. And that's what we want to do. But get in contact with us, guys. We're not horrible people. We're not grifters. Over the past 2-3 years, the charge has just been towards a book that you have to read, and you've got to give a bit of time to go online every week, and that's not a lot, guys. Everybody can do that. Everyone has got that time. There's no excuses. There really isn't. And you know, we have to be a bit firm on this. You've got to put something in to get something out. So you have to but you don't have to put a lot in. We're only asking 3-4 hours a week and a little bit of homework that takes between 8 minutes and 15 minutes. That's it. A week, just watching a video and writing a few things down. It's not difficult, but you need to put a little bit of effort in to get that goodness back. And again, Lisa's done more than 4 courses. I've done 3 courses, and these are 13-week courses. I've been in Ireland and done my course from my hotel room. I've been abroad and done my course from my hotel room. Simple as. There is really no excuses why people can't do this course, and you only have to put a few hours a week in. So thank you very much. So Mitch, over to you. Tell us about something that we might talk about in the course.
Okay, first I want to go over a couple of things that was mentioned here. First of all, I'm not trying to sell you on the course, but I want you to think about this, and then John and Lisa can agree about what I'm about to say. If you had to take a course would you take a course from somebody that understands your PTSD and trauma and that's been through it? Or would you rather try to go to somebody who's never had PTSD and trauma and take a course? If I didn't have PTSD and trauma, and if I wasn't a military veteran and a first responder, would you two have taken the course?
No, no, definitely not.
Okay. So that's the first thing I want to bring up to people who are listening. And I'm not taking away from people who haven't had trauma or PTSD, but at the end of the day, I understand where you're coming from. We understand where you're coming from. And a lot of times that carries weight to help somebody through, because we can tell you it's not going to be sugary, it's not going to be soft and flowery. It's going to be hard work, but nothing comes easy. If you want to work for it, then you're going to get the results. Second thing we talked about was confidentiality. And we don't play. If I hear somebody mentioning something that went on in the course, they're automatically out of the course. There's no excuses. If people want to share their story and their experience, then that's their responsibility, not somebody else's responsibility. That's the second thing. Now, Lisa and John have taken the course several times. Not because they don't have anything better to do, because especially Lisa would rather be spending her time with family. But even me as an instructor, every time I teach, I always learn something new about myself. And so does everybody else who takes the course several times. Because once you get over one trauma, you realize, oh, there's another trauma I have to work on. And so you can come back as many times as you want. The only catch is you either have to buy a new book or you have to buy a notebook, because what you learn the second time around is always going to be different than the first time around. Because we evolve. As we evolve, things change, and we learn new things, and we realize there's something else bothering us that we didn't know before. So John asked me to teach on something, and so we're gonna talk about my tree. I love using the tree analogy. So let's say you have a tree in your garden, or you're walking in the park, or your neighbor has a tree. How do you know if that tree is healthy or not? So people will say, like, what's one of your answers, Lil, that you know the tree is healthy?
Um, there's healthy fruit growing.
Okay, healthy fruit. Are there leaves on the tree? The color of the bark? John, what's an answer for you? How do you know a tree is healthy?
The color of the leaves, green leaves and stuff like that, not brown or burnt looking or anything like that.
Okay.
The roots as well, the roots of the tree.
But you can't see the roots of the tree, right? You can only see what's on the outside, not unless you
True.
dig up the tree to see the roots. So that's how you know that there's a healthy tree. But if you know the tree isn't healthy, what are some of the signs of an unhealthy tree?
There's no
Um, sh-
fruit.
No fruit, okay?
shriveled leaves.
Shriveled leaves, branches breaking all the time just for the heck of it. So you see how you can tell a healthy tree from an unhealthy tree without even having to look at the roots. So when you see the tree thriving, you automatically say those roots are healthy. Or when you see an unhealthy tree, you're saying, wow, the roots must be bad to that tree, because the tree's not getting the nutrients and the water and everything that you need. So the tree, if you look at the tree, that's the outer surface, the outside of the tree that you see, because you don't see the roots unless you dig up the ground to look at the roots. We are built the same way from our Creator. We have a mind, we have a body, we have a soul. So let's say, because Sarge knows me and John knows me, let's say one day Mitch comes up and just punches a hole in the wall. What do you think those two are going to say? What is the first thing that comes to their mind? And yet I have a big smile on my face.
are you okay?
Are you okay? Why would you ask me if I'm okay if I'm smiling on the outside?
Because it's out of your character, and that shows frustration and aggression.
Okay. So you see what she just did was is I can say I'm okay and I have a big smile on my face, but I punch a wall. Something's not right there unless I'm just like a person who likes to punch a hole in the wall, which I'm not. So that will tell them red flags. There's something wrong. We don't see what's going on in the inside, but the outward manifestation of Mitch punching a hole in the wall, there's something wrong. So do you see how we can carry ourselves on the outside that we're okay? And especially men, because especially if you're in the military or you're growing up, we are taught that we don't show our emotions because our emotions are not male. So if you're a veteran or even a first responder or a male in society and you're going through things, how are you going to get rid of what's going on the inside if you're not allowed to show your emotions? That's a lie. We need to be able to say, hey, there's something wrong with me. It's okay not to be okay, and get the help that we need. But if we continue to hold it in, several things are going to happen. You're going to have divorces, you're going to have breakups, you're going to start drinking, you're going to start doing drugs because you don't have an avenue on how to deal with the trauma, the PTSD, and the emotions that are flooding you at that particular time. And so we're like trees. Do you want to continue walking around and tell people you're okay when at the end of the day it's a big lie? Or are you ready to step up and say, hey, I need some help? What can you do for us? Back to you, John or Lisa.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you. Everybody who's watching, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Again, like I said, once we start the course, we will be doing regular streams, just like we have done for over 2 years, nearly 3 years, as Lisa said, as a crow flies. Rav's gonna email Lisa tomorrow. Really good move that. I'm hoping Ramo might have been on tonight, but I might have to go down and help Ramo. But we're going to get Ramo involved as well, and try and support people with these courses. And you know, like I said, guys, you know, if you know me, you know I like to do what I say and get involved in things. I don't just talk from a back seat or anything like that. Over the past 15 or so years, I've been really involved in Activision. I met Joe and Dean at the camp, which I spent a lot of time, and everyone knows I do there. And I want to get involved in supporting people. And it wasn't always, it's always been everybody within my community who I support. It might be the old person who lives next door. It might be the young family who live further down the road. It might be the middle-aged guy who lives on his own. I want to support everyone I can within a community. And I think that these courses have given me a lot of insight, experience, be able to direct people and support them wherever they need. Like I said, I went on to support Nick Wilson by going to see his member of parliament and going to see his surgical doctor on a really serious part of his health recovery. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to sit down and support him. With me next to him, Nick was able to say what he wanted to say without feeling under pressure or intimidated or anything like that. But that's what I want to do. So, you know, and this course has helped me because I've done 3 of them to understand that I have struggled. I'm not going to say I have really struggled on the last course to do with forgiveness, but it's something we'll talk about another time when the time comes. But thank you, everyone. Join the chat. Spear Thrower, good to see you, mate. Thank you very much. Rav, obviously, you'll email tomorrow.
I would like to add another thing as well.
Of course.
So, some people will have that are in the comments probably have been on the course. It just as you heard Mitch say, it's mind, body, and soul. So it is a spiritual based course. So I just want to say to myself, I am pagan, and Mitch will encourage me to express my spiritual beliefs. So there will be there is all understanding, and everyone has an equality and an expression of themselves within the course. So don't feel that because you believe in one thing, because you can't come on the course. It is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're pagan, Christian, Muslim, Sikh, Hindu, or anything like that. We welcome everyone, and it's a spiritual base. And we will encourage you to speak upon your beliefs as well within the course.
Thank you. And if anybody's listening right now and you have questions, type it in. Type the questions in, and I'll do my best to answer them. But at the end of the day, it's about spirituality. That what makes the course different than other courses, because there's wounds in all three of your bodies, mind, body, and soul. So we focus on all three of them and help you the best we can. Have vets ever try to eat a high fat diet? Ones with trauma or PTSD. I'm not aware of that. I'm not
Neither am
sure.
I.
I haven't heard that that works for people. Um, so I'm not sure how to answer that. That might be something new, but I haven't seen any data or research that that really helps. Because again, we come back to it's a mind, body, and soul thing. Eating food, it helps you support your body, but I don't know what that does for your spiritual realm or your mental health realm. So I'm just going to be honest on that. I'm not trying to knock it, but I don't
I
have
can
any
have that,
information
Mitch.
on
So I'm a qualified sports technician, and I do have got qualifications in dietary. Um, a high fat protein diet for anyone with mental health is not recommended. Fresh fruit and veg with an intake of water and juices is highly recommended for people's improvement on focus and depression, anxiety. So I really wouldn't recommend a high protein fatty diet.
that. Okay.
Hydration is very important for the brain and stuff like that. Drink a lot of water, and I know that because I'm like a carer, and I have been for quite a few years. So
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of people who suffer from trauma. There's one particular thing that, like, I've been a lot involved with as an activist, court cases, talking to victims, and that is child sexual exploitation. And obviously, it's a big thing. It's a big thing in Oldham at the moment and nationally because we want an inquiry. And, you know, I've never been a victim of anything like that, but because I'm involved in it and I talk to these people, I've realised that I get anxiety when these things are in the news and I see them on the news all the time because I've talked to all these people before. I know what's going on. I know who's failed us, and all I see in the media is not what I want to see, and you know, no one's held accountable. So, and it was a couple of months ago that, well, no, it was Christmas, I think it was, or a couple of months after Christmas, and I got high anxiety because of seeing all this stuff online and stuff. So, if you want to talk to us, and there's plenty of girls and victims who do, I do regular talk to, get involved in some of the courses. I've put forward to a couple of girls who were involved in this inquiry and child sexual exploitation scandal. But join us, just contact us, talk to Lisa, and come join the group and join us. I'm sure that we can support people and help people in a better way. At least if you do this course, you'll get some support and you'll get some direction. And you know, and once you do the course and you do it successfully, you're motivated and you will do the course again. Like I said, Nick Wilson done that course twice. I've done it 3 times. Lisa's done it at least 4. And obviously Mitch is leading the course as well. So he's obviously done dozens of courses. But you get into the course, put a few hours of your time a week, just a few hours. It's not hard. We're not asking you to go out and run a marathon. We're not asking you to go online and research for 6 days at a time. We're not asking hours at a time. We're just asking for 3 or 4 hours a week and a 30-minute midweek check-in. That's all we're asking. And that's what we want. We want to promote. We want you to join us so we can better help you. Dave, thank you very much, Dave.
Okay, so here's a question. How do you deal with bereavement? So a couple of things we have to talk about, and I'm happy you brought up that question, is because we talk about grieving and the grieving process. Am I right or wrong, Sarge and John? We spend 1 or 2 weeks talking about grief. What does grief look like? And what are the false lies and false truth about real grief and false grief? How do we deal with that emotional vacuum of grieving? And how do we deal with that in a setting that after a couple, 3 weeks, you're able to deal with that bereavement? And bereavement is not just loss of a person, it's also about loss of a job, loss of an ability, a physical ability. There's so many things that coming with loss. It's just not a death, but it's so many other things about bereavement. So if you take the course, I'm more than happy to show you how that works. Dave says comedy works. Sometimes it does, Dave. A lot of times it doesn't, because people are just using that for that particular time to get over their trauma. But the next day it can come back to them. So I appreciate you talking about humor. Humor is really important. I just look in the mirror every day if I want to laugh. So yeah, thank you. I don't know. Does somebody want to respond to Sophie's
Yeah.
comments? Because I'm not sure how to. I'm not
That's
familiar
okay.
with it.
So yes, so with PTSD and mental health, we need animal fats. It's prone to help and improve our minds and our brains in small quantities. So if you start having an intake of statutory fats and another unprocessed of high salt fats, then your body will go into a fatigue stage when depression will set in and a number of mental health. So, on the basis of improving your mental health, you need a balance of a healthy lifestyle of food intake with fresh meats, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Water is the main thing that I would recommend. Definitely water. Then, because we are a large percentage of water that we need to give an intake, and that will also improve not just your mind but also your body. Your body will flush out the toxins, which that when we produce these pheromones in our minds, the sad pheromones, it will flush out. So we need the good pheromones to be producing in our brains to help us give us a bit of a pickup. So all the time you're eating like a frankfurter or a hot dog or a McDonald's or anything like that, it is going to contribute to a bad mental health.
I want to add this. I'm not saying our course is the only course that's going to help you. I'm not here to knock any other courses. And if somebody says that healthy fats can help them, fine. If somebody says comedy helps them, fine. I'm not saying that those avenues don't work. All I'm telling you is from years of experience of me learning about myself and PTSD that I carried around for 40 years of my life, those things didn't work for me. Now, those might be a temporary fix for some people, and maybe for other people it isn't. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying not to try those things. I'm just telling you I'm not going to teach on those things because A, I'm not efficient in those areas that y'all are bringing up, and B, that I know those things didn't work for me. John or Sarge?
I'm here. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat then. I was just looking at the chat.
I agree with Sophia's coming across with the ketons and stuff like that. I absolutely totally agree with her, and I understand where she's coming from. So yeah, so please, if you ever have any more advice, Sophia, keep putting in the comments. And we're able to help people, not just for mind, body, and soul through the course, but also from your knowledge. We can also in daily life with intakes of food.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. What doesn't kill you, mate, she's stronger. Dave, thank you very much, Dave. But yeah, so you know, we're promoting the course. Get involved with it. Come and support us. You know, and it's not a lot. We're not asking a lot. You have to pay for the book, and I think I've paid for like $2, and it's not been difficult for me to pay for them $2. And obviously, the time you've got to give to be online 3 hours a week, 4 hours a week, and a 15 to 30-minute check-in once a week. And it's not difficult, guys. And once you get into the course, I think you'll enjoy it. You'll be able to talk better. You'll get more things said. You'll grow positive, and that's all I've seen is the people in the course who've done it is grow positive. That's all I've seen. And you know, I don't say, like I said, I don't say it from some guys just looking at it and like I've read the book once. I've done 3 of the courses, and if you know me well, I like to do the things that I said that I'm going to talk about. That's me. I don't make things up. I want to get more involved, and obviously, supporting people with trauma is beneficial to the community that I want to end up being a counsellor in. So you know, it's a win-win thing for me. Is supporting this course, helping other people, and learning. It's a win-win thing for me, and that is what's going to get people to believe in me from the art, because I'm doing these things from the art. That's what I'm doing. So thank you very much, and guys, please email us. Email us. I want some emails tonight, and I know Ravinder's going to email. I want other people to email tonight. There's 2 emails on screen. And I'll be checking on this. Next time I do a stream, I'll be mentioning how many emails we've had. So I know Ravinder's going to email. I want other people to start the process. Get emailing us. Get talking to us. You can we can have a group going on social media, on some form of social media. You can talk to people. You can chat with them. You can let out a little bit. I know Ravinder's got a lot to say, and I'm sure Lisa will support you, Ravinder, wherever she can. But please, you better email us and better get involved in the group.
Mitch, this year, Ravinda has a question in the comments.
Which question?
Sorry to put this up. I hurt myself. That one.
One sec.
She hurts herself for a temporary fix. Isn't that one of the 4 stages that we go through? The numb, run, deny, and cry.
Yeah, I would say I would put it in that section. Yeah. I certainly would.
So
Mitch.
yes, that is part of that. So some people like to use drugs, some people like to drink, some people like to gamble, some people like pornography, some people go shopping for stuff they don't need, and then you have people who hurt themselves to relieve the emotional flooding that's going on in their life. As you said, the key word is temporary fix. Just as I mentioned, all those other things that people use, those are temporary fixes. And unfortunately, the next day when you wake up, or a couple hours later when the pain is over with, then you're back to the same issue again. So, like you said, it's a temporary fix. Hopefully, by taking this course and getting the assistance you need, you'll be able to move away from hurting yourself as a temporary fix to what's going on in your life.
Thank you for that, Ravinda. Thank you, Mitch. So, yeah, Nick Wilson's in the chat. Good evening, Nick. Sophie, thank you very much. Dave 101. Ravinda's in the chat as well, of course. Spear Thrower's been in. Thank you. Bexy's been in. For the vets, Bexy. Certainly is. It certainly is. I do a lot to do with the camp, and it's vets first. We do have some civilians there, but certainly veterans first at the camp. But it's been a journey doing this course. It has. I've got to know a few other people who I wouldn't know anyway or anything. I've got to learn a bit about myself and a lot to understand other people and support them in their troubles. And I really do think if you'd watched us streaming for the past 2 years, you would have heard me going on about this. You would have heard me talk about Nick and how I've supported Nick by going to his local MP, his doctors with and other things, emailing for people, supporting them that way with issues that you have and in everyday life. And you would have heard me talk about that for over 2 years. So we want people to get involved and join the course. It's not going to cost a lot. A few quid and some time of the week. That's all it's going to cost. And obviously, a little bit of your effort to put in to the course. And we've got some great stuff lined up. And I'm sure over next year, we're going to be spectacular with this course. So get in contact with us. That's what we want you to do. There's 2 emails on the screen there. Just take the first step, get emailing us. And thank you very much. So any last words, guys, before we cut?
Yes, I just want a quick last words. This course wouldn't be running without us volunteering, guys. We take our time for you to help you, as well as we go back on the course to identify new things within the course. But like Mitch says, it does cost when it comes to expenses. Mitch lives in America, okay? We live in the UK. It costs him to set up the actual channel that we need to get you guys the help. So if you feel that you can't go on to the course in January and you feel like you're not ready, but you're able to share 50p, 10p, or even £1, please, if you have anything that's available, please send it us an email. We'll give you the link for where it needs to go, just so we can get the carry on with the Zoom meetings and for the groups and the graduation groups to continue us going, because unfortunately not everything is for free. Our time is free, but unfortunately technology and internet isn't free. So if you're able to donate anything, we would absolutely appreciate it, so we can continue the sports for the veterans, civilians and the first responders for the UK.
Thank you for that. And you know what? It's okay not to be okay at the end of the day. But if you're tired of living from day to day, if you're tired of not thriving but surviving, then reach out to us. Try it. The worst you would lose is what you paid for the book. which we don't know what it's going to be yet. That's the most you're going to lose, is how much you paid for the book, nothing else. We don't ask for anything else. If you want to donate, then you donate, but we're not asking you. If you go to a doctor, how much do you think, if you went to a 12-week course, how much would that cost you? Even if you had free healthcare like you have in your country, and how's that working for some people? I'm not trying to
Hundreds
attack.
of pounds, Mitch. Hundreds
Hundreds
of
of
pounds
pounds.
to do that course. To do that course, and I know this because I've done similar kind of courses where I've had to pay money, not on PTSD, but on other issues like management and stuff like that. And a similar kind of course where it's 13 weeks. You've got to learn new skills and stuff like that, and how to talk to people. I've done that course before, and it costs hundreds of pounds. You're going to get it for the price of a book and a few hours a week of your time. I think Nick sounds like he's ready to do another show, another run. I need to do it again, as in a better headspace. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the show. Really do. Honestly, thank you very much, mate.
Not just costs hundreds of pounds. It also, there is a massive waiting time. So before I went on the course for my domestic violence, it was a 55-week course with an upfront payment of £40, and then it had to be a compulsory donation of £10 for every hour that I did. So, guys, this is literally a one-time offer for everyone. It really is. All we're asking is your time and to cover the book. We will do the rest for you. We will volunteer our time for you. Just remember that. And there's hardly any waiting list. Mitch will fit you in. We had so many people that wanted to do it last year. I think we had 2 or 3 running it at 1 week, Mitch, didn't we?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
People fitted into the courses. So we will not turn you away, and we will not make you wait.
No, we won't. We won't. But again, you've got to put a little bit of effort in to do it yourself, and we need your time a week. We don't want shirkers. We want workers. We want those who are going to put that few hours a week in. We have had some letdowns. We've got to say, I'm not going to talk about it or anything, but you've got to put a bit of effort in. And again, you're not talking to people who are just knowing about it. You're talking to people who have actually done this course, and I've done it 3 times. So don't think I don't know what I'm talking about in the effort and the stuff you have to put in. Don't even think that. And again, we are sayers, we are doers, not just sayers. And Lisa is absolutely, since I've known Lisa, she's absolutely 100% proven herself in doing. And unbelievably, Mitch has done the same thing. He's absolutely proved himself in doing, not just saying. So thank you very much. And hopefully we'll be joining you all in a few weeks.
Thank you.